everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chef Danielle Sepsy and this is Gnome at Home. Today on Gnome at Home, we're making one of my all-time favorite dishes, and that is rigatoni alla vodka, but with a little spicy kick. And many of my friends and family say it rivals the famous Carbone restaurant in New York City. If you know Carbone, you know it takes sometimes weeks or months to get a reservation there, but we don't have to worry about that today because we're gonna make that famous rigatoni alla vodka right here in our own home, and I'm gonna show you how easy it is. Let's get started. This sauce starts with just one medium to large yellow onion. We're just going to thinly slice it. So first I'm just gonna cut both ends off my onion and then cut it right down the middle and just peel that outer kind of rubbery peel. What I love about this recipe too is it's super forgiving. You don't have to worry too much about your knife cuts. You don't need too much finesse. It's kind of a one pot situation, then we throw it in a blender. It's super easy. You don't have to fuss too much, and the flavor is just insanely delicious. So take your onion. We're just going to make thin slices. It does not have to be perfect, as I just mentioned. So look at that. Our large onion is just sliced up. Now we're gonna head to the stove to continue building our sauce. Are you ready? This is seriously so easy. It just starts with a medium saucepan. We're just going to put this on medium heat, and we're going to add to it 4 tablespoons of butter. I'm just letting that 4 tablespoons of butter just melt softly in the pan. With this dish, we don't want any color, which is unique because usually you'll hear me say color equals flavor. But in this dish, we actually want the onions and the butter to just cook so softly and not get brown at all, because we almost want those onions to just melt. We want all the flavor and the natural sweetness to come out in the onions without giving us any of that harshness and like acidity. We don't want big chunks of hard onion. So we're just going to melt that butter, which right now it's melted, and we're gonna add the 1 sliced yellow onion. I need 3/4 of a cup of water. We're just gonna slowly cook this on low to medium heat, and this will take about 20 to 25 minutes. So this is where the bulk of your time will be, but it is so worth it. And now we can move on to the second part of our sauce. So I have another pot here. We're just going to put it on low medium heat here. I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of butter. So I've got 3 tablespoons of butter, but I'm also going to add a bit of olive oil. So about 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. So here is a really delicious and fun pantry staple that I have. It is chili pepper paste. This is an Italian Calabrian chili paste. Sometimes you can find it chunky in the store. You can use that as well, because we're gonna be blending it in the blender later on. But this one's super smooth. A little bit goes a long way, so if you don't like a lot of heat, start with maybe a half a tablespoon and then build from there based on your taste. So now that my butter and oil are melted and together, I'm going to add that Calabrian chili paste. So I'm using about 1.5 tablespoons to 2 tablespoons here. Now we're going to add 1 can of crushed tomatoes. I always use San Marzano tomatoes. They're the most flavorful, almost like you did it from fresh from your garden. I always look for this one, but there are other brands that make great crushed tomatoes as well. Stir that together. So let's add here 2 tablespoons of just white granulated sugar. So sugar will just help balance out the acidity of those tomatoes and just make sure everything just has the perfect balance of flavors. Our onions are over here. Don't forget about those. We want to toss those every so often. Let's season our sauce. So I'm just going to add a good amount of cracked black pepper into my red sauce over here, and then some salt. You need about 1 tablespoon of salt, and that should season this whole thing perfectly. So here we have that beautiful tomato sauce simmering over here. It's been cooking for a few minutes. The flavors are melding together. Now let's add our heavy cream. So this is 1 3/4 of a cup of heavy cream. We're pouring it right into that tomato sauce mixture in this pot. And again, just let this simmer, let everything meld together. Let's talk vodka. So it is called vodka sauce. You can absolutely put the vodka in. If you're going to put it in a tomato sauce here at this stage, about 2 tablespoons will do. I don't think it adds that much. And you know, I don't have it on hand all the time. You have to buy a whole bottle. So if you don't have it, don't even bother putting it in. It's not 100% necessary. I'm still calling it vodka sauce because that's what we know it as, but you really don't need the vodka. So that's totally optional. Got my big pot of water for my pasta. I'm using my Dutch oven. We need to heavily salt our pasta water, like seawater. You want it super, super salty because that's the only way you're gonna get maximum flavor into your pasta. It's been about 20 to 25 minutes. So let's shut off our onions. Let's shut off our tomato sauce over here. We're going to put the tomato sauce into the onions. So just pour it into the onions. Be careful, be careful, be careful. So just stir this together until it's combined. And then we're going to very carefully move it to our blender over here and blend it until it's smooth. When I'm transferring something to a blender, especially a hot liquid, I like to start by ladling as much as I can into the blender before I just pour it in. Like so. The biggest mistake people make when blending hot liquid is they don't realize their blender is on high and then things just explode. So first take a towel, put it on top of your blender just in case. Hold down tight, make sure you're on very low speed to start. And then once it's starting to blend, you can increase the speed. I do this because I feel like we're getting all that sweet onion flavor really blended within the sauce. But like I said, if you like chunky, keep it chunky. Silky smooth vodka sauce. Now I've got that pot that had our onions in it before. We don't need to clean it. Just put it right back in that pot. And we'll just let that sauce just simmer on low heat until our pasta's ready. It is just a beautiful orange, kind of blushy color. Wow, it's actually perfect. We don't need any salt, we don't need any sugar. The heat just hits you in the back of the throat, just in the perfect way. It's not overbearing. Our pasta water is ready in the nick of time. Boil our pasta. So like I said before, I'm gonna use pipette. You don't really want to use long, skinny pasta like spaghetti. You really want something big and chunky for this. It's been about 9 minutes. My pasta is perfectly al dente. So, shut off your pasta. Very important. We're gonna drain this, but before you drain it, reserve about 1 cup or so of that pasta liquid. It is starchy, salty, flavorful water. And if our pasta seems to be too thick, this is the perfect way to just bring everything together and get us the perfect texture. Pasta is drained. Let's add some sauce. Nothing bothers me more than just a naked bowl of pasta with sauce just on top. You gotta bring everything together. Stir it. And then let's turn on the heat and just stir this together on low heat just until everything kind of comes together, just a minute or two. And we're also gonna add some cheese. I have here just some grated, or you can use shredded Parmesan cheese. Oh my God, looks so good. The cheese also just melts and just brings everything home. If it's too thick at this stage, you might wanna add a splash of that pasta water and just give it like 2-3 minutes on low heat. Are you ready to plate up? I know I am. This is smelling insane. Let's grab a big spoon, a nice, beautiful serving dish. Even if it's a weeknight, just serve it in a beautiful dish. Just makes you feel like you're at an expensive, nice restaurant in New York City. So creamy, a little bit spicy, a little bit sweet. Kids love this. If your kids can't tolerate a lot of spice, just leave out the chili paste. But trust me, they're gonna ask for this time and time again. This just looks spectacular. Now, I'm a cheese lover, so I'm just gonna put a little bit more Parmesan cheese right over the top. Let's go in for the kill. Let me tell you, that hits all the cravings. The flavors, the textures, they just come together in the utmost crave-worthy, satisfying dish ever. You guys are gonna love this. Thank you so much for cooking along with me today. Don't forget, you've got to subscribe down below or hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted every time I post a new recipe. I'm Chef Danielle Sepsy. This is Gnome at Home. See you next time.